mason's tank is now finished, all up and running. Sorry about the noise in the background, it's the local police looking for the dickheads. Stops the noise, bit of insulation underneath your pump. Not bad for industrial wheelie bin. I managed to purchase some off Marketplace, Facebook. Wanted 50 quid for it, I got it for 30 quid. So I'm just going to pop over to my filter house, show you what it is. Even though the sun's out and the skies are blue, it's a bit chilly around the old really. So what did I purchase the other day for Mason's Pond? Sorry about the reflection, obviously I got the sun behind me. So I managed to get, he wanted 50 quid for it, I got him down to 30 quid. Dechlorinator for his fry. So what I'm going to do now is try and set that up somewhere on his tank. 3 spare filters, he said the one in there is a new one. I want to take that apart and have a look. I put that end on there the other day just to see if it'd fit. I'll get it over by his pond and figure out where I'm going to put it. As you can see, I've had to bring it into my lean-to. I don't know why the car put something on these. I know you can buy spanners, but I've got spanners and they never fit. There must be a different one for every single one of these they make. He reckons this was a new one that was in. I don't know whether that's supposed to be the colour of it. I know there's 3 different ones, but I don't know whether you can actually see that. It looks like rust. I ain't going to risk that. I've got 3 new ones with it. Just going to put this outside the lean-to for a second. I always keep the seals off the top of these as well because they always come in handy. What I want to do, I want to check. I want to screw this back on without a filter in it and give it a good flush. Make sure there's no leaks out of the top fittings before I set it up on his tank. I've got a little spider somewhere hiding in there. I've tried to get it out without killing it, but I can't find him now. He's hiding. So I'm going to screw that in, get the hose through that, and then I've got to try and find some fittings for this side so it'll go back into his tank. So that you can see me properly, just put my hose pipe on. I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure through first. Sorry about the helicopter noise again. Obviously going to have to fill up. See if I can tell you a bit more. I'm going to put some block end on this as well, just to make sure get that a flush out. I need to put a block end on that straight away. I've only just twisted the level with my fingers the way I tighten that up. You can see that's moving. Moving from the top as well. I'm going to go and see if I can find a block end to block that off and put this under pressure. That is leaking from there already. The trouble is these aren't that big. Just trying to hold the 2 things together. That's leaking without no pressure. There's no pressure in that really. So I'm going to have a look in my box of gubbins and see if I've got something to block that end off there, and I'll come back to you. As you can see, I've got quite a few hose pipe attachments. I've just took this one off the bottle where it was leaking, and I don't think that is the right seal. And what they've done, whether you can actually see that, they've tried to put it on with so much force, it's chewed it all up, leaving pieces of debris over here, look. So I'm going to take this rubber seal off and try and clean this up the best I can. And then I'll do my little trick with the seal. And it's just an O-ring they've put on that, look. There's O-ring on that side as well by the looks. On that side. Anyway, I'm going to get my file out. I'm going to clean this up and bring you back in a sec. Right then, what I've done, I've changed. I put a new fitting on it, new seal on it. Just going to wrap some of the tape around this. Got the right size spanner, I hope. I've took the seal off. I don't know whether you can actually see the seal on there. You can actually see where part of it sticks out, but other parts it's almost flush to the thread. That might be the reason why it's leaking, I'm not sure. I don't know whether you can actually catch that on camera. Anyway, I'll put some tape around it. I've got the right size spanner to put it on. Sorry if the camera's swaying a bit, it's a bit breezy. It's quite fresh today. Just see if I can get you to see. Flick around, see if you can see what I mean by that seal. You can see the seal there, look. The seal out there. It's like it's deeper inside this. If I turn it, you can see. So we'll tighten that up. I think I've got to take that off to get the spanner on as well. Oh, sorry about that. Trying to get the camera in position so we don't fall over. It's only on a cheap tripod, that's why it's swaying a little bit. I put Vaseline on the seal as well. Not going to over tighten it, I'll do it at that. Rubber seal in it. Change that for a new one, new seal inside, new seal outside. I don't believe that was a totally different size nut. What I'm going to do, while I've got it in bits now, I'm going to take this off. And I'm going to redo this one, this side. I might as well do it. There's some brass fitting inside there. You can see how people in the past have used the wrong size spanner on it and they over tighten them. The rubber seal's just got a pinch in, so I'll clean that up. I'll get a spanner on that. Now they can actually see that. Look at that, it's absolutely battered. Might not be able to get a spanner on it properly, but this one for some reason has got no seal on it. So I'm just going to have a look at my bag of tricks. Whoops, have a look at my bag of tricks, see what I've got. Oh, sadly the only thing I've got is these things, and I've just tried that inside the bottle and it goes too deep. That's, you've just got two little flat edges there to tighten up, and that goes too far in the bottle, it goes down to that collar more or less. So I'm going to have to reuse this. I'll get the get this tape off, put some new tape on it. And the thing is with this, there's no seal on there. I'm thinking of putting a seal on there, see if I can clamp it that way. I'm going to have to switch it off because I've got a phone call coming through. I'll keep making these videos. I must have 2.5, 300 videos to go through, and I still ain't made a video yet. So if you got to this part, I've got through more. Right then, I've got the fitting. I've got a rubber seal. I'll see if I can try and show you this. This is going to reduce the hole, but this is for it to go back in the tank, which is only going to be a trickling anyway. So I'm going to try that in there. This is what I'm doing there, just putting the tape around it. There's no ledge on this one with the seal on this one, so I thought by putting it on the inside, to be honest with you, the thread on this piece are the best. I've turned it this way so I was looking there. And down forward this is. That might be in the way of the spanner. I've been searching everywhere for a spanner to fit that nut. I'd already used it. Try not to do it too much because I don't want to squash that seal. I'm going to leave it at that. Change this end again. New fitting, new rubber inside. Connect the water up. And on this one you've got a bit of a bleeder. Loose the air out, that is. Right then. Try without no pressure, see what happens. See if I can get this so as you can see what I'm trying to do. So hard to get this tripod stable. What I need to, obviously, I need to pressurise this to make sure the cylinder, because the cylinder was leaking here, but I don't want to put too much pressure on that yet, because I've got to put the cylinder in. Should have dried it up as well first, shouldn't have put it. That's looking all fine. That's looking lovely jubbly. A little seep from here. Okay, so what I'll do now, take the bottle off, get the new cylinder inside and try it again, or I can just pinch this up a little bit then. And hopefully that, I've got to get a smaller connection on that I think. Or just, I'll have to get a bit of hose pipe like that, just put it into his pond or tank. So I'll get the cylinder, I'll bring the cylinder and we'll change the cylinder. Oops. Just cleaning this seal off. What I can't understand with companies, why do they put round rings in? So easy just to put a flat gasket on there. So much easier and so much better. So I'm going to do some Vaseline around this, and I've got an horrible feeling I've got a visitor, which means I've got to stop recording. I've had one of them days today. I've got a big jar of this somewhere, I don't know where I've put it. Somebody told me about this trick. If you remember when I was doing Mason's tank, bought a brand new seal and it was still leaking, and they said try a bit of Vaseline on. So I'm going to have to cut you off now because I can hear voices, and that seal is too big. So I'll get back to you in a bit. Sorry about that. Visitors, give myself a cup of tea. Well, now then, that seal. Oh yeah, I've just got it in. It was sitting in right. Like it's too big. Now the other thing about these, look, just trying to get them bang in the middle. See what I mean by a gasket on there, look, so much easier. leave it at that, I think. See what happens here. Can you see that? Did I spell loud me phone? There you go. I'll let that run a bit anyway. Yeah, that's leaking, look. I thought it was pouring out, it's from over there. Yeah, it's starting to leak, look. Oh, dear. I don't know how you're supposed to tighten these on. You gotta put so much force on them, that's why you can't get them off. Let's try again. That's without that end being blocked off. It's ended off there by mistake. Just been to fetch some tissues. I was going to dry all that from around there too. And now really no need to tighten anything up that tight. These you will have to. I'll just hope it ain't been sold because it leaks. It's looking dry now. I'll just flush that filter out, that will allow it a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll do it, I think. It's only going to trickle into his pond anyway, so you don't need nothing major. Just dry it off, get it over by his tank and see if we can find some way to fit it. So, back in a bit. Oh, Mrs. good mad at me, hoarding stuff. So I'm just coming here to look for a bit of pipe work for masons trickling. Bosha. What I wanted to use really is this pressure pipe with the fittings. I might get round to doing it later on because you need the elbows and everything for it to work, and then change it from house pipe fitting to these fittings. Just for now I'm just going to try a bit of old faithful house pipe. I've come to fit this fitting on here now. That was the fitting that I had. It's the wrong way around. And you can actually see that. Sorry about the noise, the wind's blowing and the sheets obviously blowing in the wind and making a noise. My box of stuff, I found this one. No seal on that, that's in trouble with that. I think that's going to leak. So that screws onto that. I'm hoping lovely jubbly. That screws onto that. I don't think there's a seal in there, but it looks like there's a seal in it. So that can go onto there like that. Should put that tape on really, shouldn't I? Something like that. Something like that. And what I need to do now is put that in there to adjust my flow. I have been looking at my pressure fittings. I just want to bring an elbow up here, across here, across the top, and down into the pool. But oh yeah, I got the pipe and I've got some bends and different things, so I'm going to get some hot water now. And what I'm going to do is just do that, so it can trickle in. So I'm going to go and get me some hot water, heat this up and get it onto that tap. Then I've got an adjustment tap there to obviously adjust the flow, because all I want to do is trickle it in. I'll just get me a cup of water, try this out, and I'll get the water through it and see what happens, see if it works. So I've changed this end over. I'm going to turn the tap on, fill it up to the hose pipe, a little bit of hose over here. I'll put a clip on that to hold that down. I will try and get proper fittings and just see if this leaks now. Yeah, it's pouring out everywhere. Believe it or not, there's hardly any pressure on that at all. I've turned the tap down on there, but I've blocked this off, to be honest. So I haven't done that nut now. I've tightened that up that hard. Right, I've got to take this apart and see what I'm coming up with. Plan F, Tech 12. Can you see that? I'm just about to see the fitting. I've just found some rubber seals, and yes, I've had to use them rubber rings. But I'll put a couple of gaskets on that now and see what happens. If that don't work, I'm going to return to this piece and try and make something up off of that with a little bit of hose pipe in the middle. But the pressure's really low on it. Turn that tap off. I'll turn that on. I'll let the water flow through. Then I can turn it off then when I come back and pressure it myself. It's an hole in the fitting. That's a brand new fitting. That's actually coming out of the fitting itself. Oh dear. I pressure tested that down by the drain. It was hunky dory. Well, whether you can actually see that. There's a slot in that for some reason. Why would you have a slot in there? That's crazy. So now, back to plan A. Unbelievable that is. Why would you even make a fit in them? Put an hole in it. There's got to be a reason. So what I need to do now is cut myself a little bit of hose pipe in between this fitting and the other fittings like that. Oh, I don't need to, do I? Oh yeah. I could have just put that. That's what my intentions was. To fit that in there so I can adjust the water flow onto there. That's a house pipe fitting. I needed a double female really. Super toasted fell off. So that's got to go on first. And they'll have to do it that way. I'll find me fitting. For the fob that I'm working. I don't know what plan this is. Plan Z. So I've just found this fitting. I've removed this one. I'm struggling to get the hose on there. Obviously that fits on one of these fittings. But I've noticed that one's got a thread on. So I'm hoping it'll be the same thread as that. And what I should have done really is tried it before I showered you. I've took the seal out of that, put it in this. Then I'll put the hose, this hose pipe straight into that end. A lot easier. Put that in that hot water while I'm chatting bubbles. Can't believe it struck me. I started this at about 10 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock now. Just to fit this thing on here. I'm not going to tighten that too much, I keep telling people. When there's a seal you shouldn't wrench it. Not that impression then of a wrench. Sound more like a frog. Get in there, baby. Oh, get in there, baby. Oh no, don't twist. Oh, I can't believe that. Oh dear, what have I done there? Anyway. Tap on the end this time. I'm going to leave it open. We'll try again. You can see it before me and have a laugh. It's leaking out the bottle now. Tighten them bottles up that tight. Now that seal I hold it. You can see I've had to remove it. Looking okay at the moment. Fair bit of pressure coming through it. The thing is now I've got to try and turn that pressure off. And see if it pressurises it and bursts it again. Trying to do it once, sorry about the camera work. What you find is these things are stupid design because you've got that, the little ones are the same. The pipe in the top should be longer to go inside the filter. You've got to try and line it up with the top one, line it up with the bottom one, and it's virtually impossible. You have to keep trying and trying until it seals. Well, that now is on full and there's no water leaking from that at all, so I can get it plugged back in. Sorry, screwed back on the wall, and that's done then. Hopefully we'll try it again. So we try again. That could be air coming through. Oh, chuk 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 chuk. There you go. Just hope that's the excess out that little breather pipe now. I'll get a tissue and dry that off. Now I've just done a pressure test on that with that tap closed and it day leak. It's rather noisy. Just going to get some tissue and dry that, because they're under pressure now. Obviously the valve's open. Just hope that I bloody leaking again. Turn that off. It's still under pressure. I've dried it off, and that seems lovely jubbly, thankfully. Still feels like there's a little fine dribble there. Sorry about the camera work. These are such a pain in the arse to seal, because you can't get the filter inside lined up. Sorry about the camera work, folks. You can't get the filter inside lined up properly. It's bad enough for the small ones. All it needed was a rubber gasket on there, and that would have sealed lovely without having to put so much pressure on it. At the moment that's looking okay. It's good enough anyway. You can see how much pressure's under that now. Obviously I don't need it on that much. Quite happy with that. It's too fast for it to get through the filter anyway. I'm happy with that. That'll do.